All right, guys, let's get to it.
Yep.
Everybody get that pen and paper ready. Shoot me a quick thumbs up before we throw up the share screen and we get cracking.
This is really good.
Not so fast.
Mm.
All right, guys. Back up. We got a couple people away. A couple names
I can't believe how many people are having problems getting on, man.
I know.
It's crazy. I don't. Last time when we did this, these webinars last September, was supposed to be a one-time deal. We didn't even have a problem with this issue. The problem we had then is the damn thing wasn't recorded. So
Right.
this is going to be recorded. So in case you're catching, the future replay and you're just rewatching it, we definitely hope you get a lot of bang for your buck, with the recordings. Use this money to, triple 10, 100 times your income, and then start investing into bigger things as you, learn how to, get this off the floor. So go ahead. I will have Ron starting to go, and then I'll probably hop in and out as well, and we'll go from there.
Just waiting for my settings to catch up, guys. All right, awesome. And no problem, Justin. Is everybody else good to go? You got that pen and paper? Everybody ready?
And keep in mind, if you're watching the recording, watching me eat, hopefully I don't look like a slob.
I don't know if you want to step away just until you finish, and then I'll
Me?
I'll cover everything.
I'm done in like 3 seconds.
All right, guys. So if you're logged into your Seller Central accounts, you guys will have something like this. If everything is cleared, I know a couple of you are under sole proprietorships. It could be under for another day of review, which is why I've asked you guys to obviously have a pen and paper next to you. Everybody's will look the same. Try not to pay attention to Tommy chewing. See what you can do about paying attention to this page. Coming into this, our very first thing, we're going to have a hotkey, a hot button. It's this Amazon Seller Central home button up here in the top left. So when I say to hit our hotkey, if you're going to try and follow along, this is what I mean. So we're going to start from the very left of the page. We're going to work our way down. I'm going to explain to you exactly how this process works, what it means, what it does, and how to operate it. So the very first thing that we're coming into for our blue heading is our pending category. Everybody takes a second to click into the pending. Now, if you have shopped on Amazon, which I'm almost positive that all of you have shopped on Amazon at least once, you have clicked the add to cart button at least one time. Now, if anything shows up in your pending, which sometimes the buyer's name and information pops up, what I want you guys to never do is go purchase the order. Your account has not been funded. All this means is someone has clicked add to cart from your store and it's sitting in their add to cart. So the current order is pending. Nothing's been funded, nothing's been paid. Everybody clear on that? Betty. One of you on here will message me. This will happen to one of you. Mark my words, it never fails. That's why I try to make it very, very clear, stress this a lot. You will be able to access unshipped from this very same page. It's this next tab that's right here. But I want to show you guys how to access this all from the home page. So we're going to hit that hotkey that we were just talking about up in the top left. Now, once your account's been paid, which means it's been moved to your balance, that buyer has now funded to your seller account. You've been paid for the item, which is where we're going to come in and what our system is to where there's the least amount of overhead possible. See, the item's already been purchased from our store, but we haven't bought anything yet. Thing is we've already guaranteed our profit. So over here, where it moves from pending, we're going to now be in unshipped. In unshipped is where it's going to give us the same information that was in pending. We're going to have our order ID. It's going to look like a normal sheet of paper. Have a buyer name and order ID, what the product was, and the quantity, and how much was paid to your account. Everything's very simplistic. They have all the details laid out for you. It is that easy. All our information and what we are going to utilize is all found in that order ID. That order ID will be 2 numbers and then a dash. As soon as we click on it, it's going to populate all of our goodies. It's going to have the buyer's name, his address, his city, his state, his zip code, and his phone number. Everybody clear on that?
That was some nuggets right there.
Hey, fire, right? Come out blasting. Now, look, guys, what is awesome about this is it literally gives us all the criteria for everything we need. So these distribution centers and everything that we're going to go through and show you what products or what places to buy stuff from, all we're literally going to do is copy and paste this information that's literally been handed to us from an order ID. This person's gave us money, so we're able to flip from profit now. It's that easy. That's set in stone. So also in this tab over in the right where it shows results per page over here on the right side will also be in this same line. See, Amazon has a thing for gold buttons. And everything that we walk through in this page and we start talking about in the future is also going to be operated on a gold button. This gold button is going to be called confirm shipment. As soon as we receive a tracking number from wherever we purchase, it is as easy as clicking confirm shipment and copying and paste the tracking ID. We are done after that. Simple, right? It's weird not hearing voices. Just gonna say.
Well, I'll speak for the people. I'll be like, right.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, guys, back out to that hot button. So we're gonna go back up again to the home page. We're gonna scroll down to where we have return requests. Now in return requests, I'm going to copy and paste a template, which will be sent out to everybody's email that's actually in this webinar. It's very, very simple. I'm gonna show you guys how to get to the settings for that, how we'll adjust it, and how you guys can copy and paste it. So everything is already pre-templated for you. Now we had talked about gold buttons. Amazon slightly protects third-party sellers. When I tell you guys need to go into this being a full entrepreneur mindset, don't expect Amazon to take care of you. Don't. This is your business. You're running through their platform. They're a $1 trillion company. They could give a shit about your $100,000. That's just me being real with you. If you guys need to take time out of your day to contact the buyer, make sure that everything's kosher, just understand you're still running a business. You're just running it through somebody else's platform. With that being said, Amazon does have guidelines. They do slightly try to protect them. Whether they stick with this or not, just know that going into these template instructions, they should help going along so you don't have to keep typing things in. Now, you do not have to approve a return if it's after a 30-day window. If it's within a 30-day window, it's opted guidelines, then you guys will have to accept the return. Amazon does give leeway for third-party buyers or sellers, more or less like ourselves. What this does for us, if the product's opened or used and they try to return it so we don't completely lose our ass, we are allowed to charge a 20% restocking fee. Is that clear?
Yes.
Hey, I like all the voices. This is so much better. It's so
Guys,
much better.
real quick, I'm just going to interrupt Ron real quick and just say, look, and especially me and Ron, especially, or should I'll just stick with me, but I know Ron too. We might joke a little bit, on these webinars and whatnot. And I think I said it yesterday when I was here real quick. I had a family emergency, but we joke a lot. But we know how to make money, okay, at the end of the day, So while we joke a little bit, just, take it with that we don't need to be serious 24/7 on here. We're going to give you way more than the value of what you paid. You paid $1,297. That means we're taking time away from our families and doing other things that we could be focused on. That's, I know for me, my main business it's making a whole lot more. So it's not about the money to me for me to be on here and take 3 days out of, on my weekend to be on here, guys. We want to deliver as much value as possible. And we really want to make sure, like I said, you 100 times your money. $1,297. If someone would have asked me to even get on the phone for that or to pick my brain in the streets, it just wouldn't be worth my time. But I really want to deliver as much value to you guys, especially coming up on fourth quarter. So like I said, you guys can 100 times your money. So just take it with a grain of salt, the jokes, the stuff that we throw in and stuff like that. Take it that we like to be very serious. We like to work hard, play hard. So we're going to joke. We're going to have a little fun. But we're also going to teach you guys how to create a 6 and even 7-figure business. So I'll let Ron continue real quick. I just wanted to throw that out there.
No, and I think it's a good point too, because we went from being one attitude to being a strict attitude. And just when it boils down to business and trying to take care of it, I take this part very, very seriously. And a lot of people sleep on this, but I cannot stress it enough when I tell you that what I'm going through with you right now is so crucial that you guys understand it like front and back, how to take care of you can't open and run a business if you don't know how the foundations ran. That's just how it is. You have to know how the foundation's brought before you can start outsourcing and doing other things to generate income. So going forward with this too, if you guys have questions, do not be afraid to ask. If you need me to repeat something, do not be afraid to throw it up. All right, that's what we're here for. So we're going to opt back into where we were just at with these returns. So that gold button, it will either say authorize or it will say deny. It's that simple. So when we shoot these directions over to you in the template, copy and paste in the return settings, which I will show you guys more towards the end right before we get off, so you guys do not forget. So it's that simple as far as return instructions. Hopefully everybody gets that. If you don't, go ahead and shoot it back in the chat and we'll come back to it. We are going to make our way back up to this hotkey though, the home button. Kind of keep moving, progressing. So far, everything's made sense as far as the orders, which is the easiest part. Everybody's clear on that?
It is weird. I keep thinking I'm going to hear a bunch of people say yes, yes.
Right.
In my head.
It got me yesterday too. Awesome, guys. All right, so we're going to move down to the performance section. And we're going to move to buyer messages. And this is a test account. This is a product that got thrown up that probably never made its way back. Just being honest. So coming through our next click, we're going to do buyer messages. Now, buyer messages has gotten really finicky. And this is why it's important to have people that are still in the game to kind of relay to you, keep forward of how to operate. And Tommy will pass off his personal experiences with this, and I'll pass off mine because I'm sure they're going to be two totally different opinions. Now, you'll be able to leverage different things. What I mean by leveraging different things is in that order ID, they're going to give you a phone number. Yes, this is totally an online business. You should be able to message back and forth, but whether you guys paid attention to it or not, when you sign up for your Amazon account, you click that little square that said click the service terms and agreements with Amazon. There's another little square next to it that you probably didn't pay attention to that lets you opt out of solicited emails. A lot of people don't like solicited emails anyway, don't even know what they mean. But if a buyer ever has a problem and they send a message to the seller and the seller goes the message back, it's now a solicited email because it came from the seller. So they're not going to receive your message. My best advice for you, and this is also a metric for Amazon. You have this 24-hour window, which you guys can put the app on your phone. Doesn't mean you have to be glued to your computer. Say something in your notes if you need to. If it's the weekend, let them know, this is Ron with this account's wholesale hitters. Our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. I just wanted to acknowledge you. And again, copy and paste your notes. So it's very quick to go. Just want to let you know we'll take care of this first thing in the morning. You guys just get back to it, continue on with your weekend that fast. What I would do, just so that's accredited towards the metrics, send the message. If there's a problem, and this goes out to everybody that's on this, there's never been a point in time either that you guys have received a text message that was a problem or a bad situation that you guys read and took the text the wrong way. 9 times out of 10, if a buyer is messaging you and there's an issue, well, there's an issue. So if you get on the phone with them and you talk to them, they're probably going to take whatever words you have to say over the phone a lot better than how they're going to read a text message. Words can be taken a ton of different ways read. My advice to you would be to make the phone call, sound professional, let them know who you are, address the problem, and let them know how you're going to fix it, and send a follow-up message. I always feel like that's best results. Comes off more professional, it looks more legit, and it's a quicker solution than waiting for a message response. Got any input on that, Tommy?
No, I 100% agree. I remember when they first came out, with this whole non-soliciting customers and stuff like that. And honestly, it's been, I don't know, probably about a year or two now, maybe a little longer. And I was thinking, like, how are we supposed to, communicate? A lot of these people that, they're buying from your store, they should have it. Like, my thought process again back then was they should at least have it if they buy it from your store. It's not soliciting.
Right.
At least that was my thought process. Like, oh, well, they don't buy from your store. I get it. But I understand why they did it. I just don't like how they did it.
Right.
So I wish they did it. If the person buys from it, the system detects, hey, this person bought from your store. You can send them a message in case there's a problem. Because even with Amazon Prime, you buy something from Prime, Amazon's not going to say, well, you can't call us. No, we can't call you if there's a problem.
Right.
At the end of the day. So I just wish that they came out with it in a way that, again, if they didn't buy from you, fine, I get it. But if they bought from you, you should have the right to be able to still message them. And you're gonna find yourself in situations where the customers will go through and try to message you, try to trying to resolve a problem, can't get the order, items broken. Yeah, even then you have their phone number and they don't pick up. And you try a couple times, within a couple days, within a week, and you will run into a situation where they're like, okay, this seller doesn't want to respond to me because they forgot they opted out, and they're gonna go open up a claim on you. They're gonna open up negative feedbacks on you, or leave a negative feedback. Don't take it personal. All you can do is try to address your claim or your feedback with Amazon seller support, and be able to remove whatever kind of problems that you're dealing with. It's really, like I said, it's really not fair, you know. But like Ron was saying, Amazon, and it's not to scare you when I say that Amazon 9 times out of 10 supports the buyers. They support the buyers more than the sellers. Yeah, the sellers make them a lot of money, but it's the buyers who come to the store, the platform to buy the items. So
Right.
they're trying to back them like 9 out of 10 times. The goal here in this business is to have way more perfect orders than bad orders.
Right. Right.
So if you have, let's just say 100 orders and you got one problem, that might put you at risk of the 1% defect rate that we will cover in a little bit. So it might not make 100% sense right this moment. But if you got 1,000 orders and one problem, it's not the end of the world. Your
Right.
account's gonna be fine, um, and stuff like that. So
Couple
hope
golden
that,
nuggets too. I
huh?
want to throw you a couple golden nuggets I want to throw their way too when we get to that part, so you guys aren't completely in the dark on it. A couple different things you can say, and again, relying on that phone call, it just goes a long way. It really does. Getting somebody on the phone and talking to them, so it's voice to voice. They'll be able to hear the sincerity in your voice and be able to take tone, whether you have to relay bad or good information. But the thing is it's a lot easier to turn a negative into positive. So that negative feedback that he was talking about, say you do get on top of it and you handle it in a very professional manner, where you may have just turned a negative situation into now a positive review. So when I say to push for it, I really, really strongly encourage you guys to pick up that phone and make that phone call. Treat this like a business and it will pay you out like a business. Promise that. 10, if not 100 fold. Everybody clear on that? Clary, we haven't made it that far yet, but just to touch base, if anybody was thinking the same thing. So as simple as this would be, if somebody wants to return an item, it's as simple of us copying and pasting the reason that they give us, messaging whoever we bought it from with the same reason, whether items were okay, this arrived broken, can you guys send me a return shipping label? From there, I'm going to take that shipping label and I'm going to literally post it in the messages of the return instructions, so it goes back to where I bought it, and then they will get refunded, and then I will get refunded so I don't lose the money. Make sense? Awesome. Okay, very cool. All right, guys, we're gonna come back up to this hot button real fast. Just scroll back down, and we're gonna go to the very next one. And this is those A to Z claims that he was talking about. So couple different ways to get around these. But the biggest thing is where you guys are at right now. You guys have zero credibility. You're just starting off fresh. Oh, here we go. Got another one. A couple more people having some difficulties coming back into these. So these A to Z claims that Tommy was talking about, where we were just at. So this is literally kind of like what it says, anywhere from point A to point Z. So you guys being a legit distribution center, yes, we're kind of stepping out the guidelines by doing this way. We're not sitting on thousands of dollars of inventory like we had talked about yesterday. We're doing this a little bit more efficient way. You're all right, Tommy. If you got to step away, buddy. Coming into this.
All right, hold on.
So what I want you guys to take away from this is no matter how this situation's addressed, whether something got lost or something was broken or something wasn't packed well, or something didn't get a correct tracking number, you guys can always talk to whoever you're buying from to address the issue, fix it, experience the problem, and get it accredited with them. Now, at the same time, realize you're supposed to be running a store. And if anybody were to find out that you were drop shipping, they would probably be very salty about the situation because you just sold them an overpriced item. So yes, sometimes it takes a little bit of toying with some words. Whether you guys believe in 100% honesty, or not, I'm a person that kind of battled with it a little bit, but at the end of the day, I had to realize like what this business was, because again, it'd be the same way with you. Had you bought something on Amazon, you knew you could go get it $25 or $30 somewhere else cheaper, you'd probably feel some kind of way about it. So trying to give up those logistics is not usually the best. You guys have to do what you can. Now, it is also under Amazon's guidelines that they have to message the seller within 24 hours. Now, if the seller doesn't message back within that 24-hour window, they can then now file a to Z claim. If you never received a message and they file an A to Z claim, I had talked to you guys yesterday about playing chess, keeping your store in the dark, not getting Amazon involved. And I just mentioned it too about 10, 15 minutes ago and said, try to take things into your own hands. Again, toying with some words, trying to act like you're trying to help somebody while benefiting you. Now, once a claim is submitted, it is honestly taken out of your hands. There's nothing that you can do. What you can do though, is pick up that phone, call that phone number and let them know, hello, Jim, this is Ron with Wholesale Hitters. I just want to let you know that we had received a message from Amazon that there was a claim that was filed. Unfortunately, we never received any message. We didn't know that there was a problem or address, but now that it's submitted into Amazon's hands, it's going to take 3 to 5 days for them to submit the review. They'll submit it to us to be able to approve or deny, and we don't want you to take your time. If you cancel the claim for us, though, we can have your account refunded today. We'll put it back in our hands. Now, you're doing him a favor. He doesn't have to wait. You explain to him it's going to take about a week to be able to get his money, but if he cancels the claim, they'll submit it back to your storage so you can take care of it. To turn around, now you don't have a mark against your account, and you have an immediate refund for this guy. Can turn into a positive review again, because you just explained to him how this favor is going to work and what you're doing for him. You guys all see the positive in that? Hugo, only if the item is signed for. Sucks. 9 times out of 10, I still fight this anyway if it was delivered to the mailbox, but if it was ever delivered to the doorstep, chances are, because it's not a secure location, they will not side with you. You got like a 50-50 shot if it's delivered to the mailbox. Excellent. Anybody else? Just waiting on maybe a couple questions or another thumbs up from a few people. I've only got a few people that are like good to go, and I want to make sure everybody's clear. Again, guys, super, super important. So any kind of communication, it helps me. So I want to relay it to you so you guys know going forward. And I know you have access to come back to this. Totally cool. But I would much rather be able to relay it to you while you guys are on here now. Awesome. All right, we're going to go back up to this hotkey. We're going to move down to the next one. Chargeback claims. So this is usually with shysters. It's only probably happened to me twice in the matter of me actually selling in the last year and a half and X amount of accounts that I've had open. What this is a dispute between the buyer that purchased the item with their bank or their credit card company, saying that they never authorized a charge, they never went through and actually purchased the item themselves. Now, this is very, very easy. Sorry, Miss List. The access for the webinar will be released after the 3rd day is complete. In these chargebacks, where we were just touching base on, you guys will obviously have the tracking number that was given to you for what this is. Now, the beauty about having the tracking number is as soon as you type this tracking number into USPS, UPS, or FedEx, it's going to give you what the address name was, the city, the state, the zip code, and possibly even the name of the attendee at the address. What's awesome about that is now we can now screenshot that it was delivered to that address with that buyer's name. Also on Amazon with the order ID and the buyer's name and the card information that was supplied, you guys can screenshot in that order ID. It's very quick pop-up. What we do is we take both screenshots and we're going to submit appeal on this same thing. Gold button. Very, very simple. One sentence. Below, I have provided both screenshots where the buyer's information matched the delivery information. This purchase was authorized. Amazon will 86 it for you. The mark will not go against your account. Everybody clear on that? Gotcha. As long as you're not getting me slashed.
Mine makes good.
Gotta turn on voices for this thing.
What's that?
Gotta turn on voices for this thing.
What do you mean?
All right, guys, we're gonna move on just because I don't have anybody saying anything about it. So we will clear. Actually, just real quick, everybody caught that because I can go over that one more time if need be. All right, moving on. Okay, guys, we're gonna scroll down one more time. So this account status, if you ever see this here, at risk, obviously that's not a good thing. We're gonna go through how this metrics and things work. Again, this is an account that really wasn't taken care of. It's just a test account. And this customer feedback's a big thing too. You don't ever want one gold star to ever be popped up on your profile. That's not what we want, obviously. Okay, all right. Yes, I can go back over that one more time. However, I will come back. Guys, if I ask while I'm on the thing and then I move on, catch it back on the feedback. I feel like I'm taking plenty of time for you guys to reach out if you guys do need to say something. I don't want to have to ask 5 times to go through this. No shots being fired. Just letting you guys know, just to move this efficiently for everybody. In the chargeback claims themselves, the screenshots that you want to take are going to be the delivery information through the tracking ID. So on UPS or USPS, FedEx, you type in that tracking number that's provided to you through whoever your distribution center is that you guys go through. It's going to show the buyer's name. It's going to show their delivery address. It's going to show their city, the state, the zip code, and it'll show the time and date that it was actually delivered. So we're going to take a quick screenshot of that. We're also going to take a screenshot of the order ID that's provided on Amazon. And then we'll meet, or actually in chargeback claims, we'll be able to click a gold appeal button. And in that appeal button, we're just going to submit both screenshots, one quick sentence, and something along the lines of it should say, below I've provided both screenshots where the order ID has matched the delivery information. This order was authorized. Amazon will 86 the chargeback claim and they'll completely remove it from your account. Solid. All right, about returns. Just wanting to. It depends on the return, Hugo. Some of that solely relies on your judgment call. I only do that based off of opened or used items. If it's opened or used and I know I'm not getting a full return out of it, I don't want to fully eat it, so I'll charge them that 20%. Now, if it's just an item that they want to return, I'll make them purchase the shipping label and have Amazon ship it out. Or if your distribution center and whoever you go through doesn't mind and they opt into returns, you don't have to purchase a return anyway. All right, guys, move down. All right, so this is going to be a big bulk of important information. So we'll go slow through this and we're going to go one column at a time before I have you guys shoot the thumbs up thing. So in this, there was like 8 people purchased on that test item. 8 people purchased on that test item. It's funny. All right, guys. So our customer service performance. It's going to be our first thing. Tommy was talking about an order defect rate before you had to step away. Your order defect rate, your metrics for this, Amazon's, they're on their toes. There's a reason why, you know, they're top of the chain. They want to make sure that they're good to go. And it's taking care of customer service that they're really crucial with. So if you're going to be selling under their name, you got to make sure that you're taking care of the customers. Cancel order 2 days. I wouldn't see the purpose for doing that because you're not really restocking anything. It never got unstocked to ship. If you want to do that though, you're probably going to get a negative feedback, just being honest. Your customer service performance for your order defect falls under 3 categories. And we had talked about a couple of these: the chargeback claims, the A to Z claims, and then your negative feedback. Now, it's under 1%. That means 1 out of 100 orders. Yes, that's not a lot of playroom, not a lot of wiggle room. But again, if we touch base back on where we just were and what we were just talking about, you guys picking up the phone and taking care of whatever problems are, you take care of the problem, now there's no problem against your account. So really it's just having good customer service. That's all this boils down to. You run a store, take care of good customer service, you have nothing going against your account. And we always want to make sure that we have a good account, because that's what keeps us in the dark. That's what keeps us selling. And that's how we continue to be those 2 to 3 moves ahead with Amazon. So for this, if you go to have a defective item, depending on how they appeal it, whether it's an A to Z or just a message, then yeah, it'll be turned over. But if it's already pending against your account, then Amazon's already refunded the buyer, so there would be no reason to do that. Now going through this category, guys, the chargeback claims, again, A to Z claims, negative feedback, all this is very, it's wayward. It's very easy to take care of. Picking up, calling, again, that good customer service, even offering them out something if they need to remove something, all this stuff can be removed. An A to Z claim can be removed off your account at the buyer's expense. If they want to go on there, they can click remove. And the same thing with an A to Z claim. That can be removed as well, as long as they submit something for you. There's been times where I've also offered them like 20% back on an item just to get it removed off my account, especially on a couple of them that I was just starting because I wanted to acquire good metrics. So I'd have that leeway for bad metrics in the future. And that takes it. It's business. It's momentum, building momentum with your account, gaining credibility ahead of time. So that way you have a little bit of leniency in the future when you guys are pulling out bulk orders. So if there's only like 10, 15 items or whatever in your first week, whatever being sold, it's going slow, eat 1 or 2. You guys have to build. Then when you're doing, 15 to 20 a day, every day, 30 days a month, you have a lot more leniency because you guys have built prior credibility. Does that all make sense? Awesome. Love it. Love it. Hell yeah, guys. All right, guys. Product policy compliance is a big one. And I say it's a big one because when I first started, and I mean, I very first started, there was literally 3 of these. As you can see, there's a lot more than 3 of these. These black zeros that we have right here on the right side, we want to keep black zeros to the indefinite end of our account. This is, again, keeping us mostly in the dark, staying on top of your shit, and you guys won't have anything to worry about at all moving forward as long as you guys are on top of taking care of what I'm getting ready to go over. Each of these are. Now, a received intellectual property complaint, you guys will never really have an issue with these because we're reselling items. When we resell items, we're not technically taking somebody else's item and slapping our own trademark over the top of somebody else's to sell it. And that would be how this would come into play. The only other time I've seen these hit, which I would hope to a lot of you seems like common sense, but if not, it's cool because this is a totally different element of business for you guys. Now, if I see, and this is just for teaching purposes, if I see this great value bottle on Amazon, when we teach you guys to mine, right? And we find it somewhere else, $15 cheaper, and we want to start selling this bottle. It's got a great ranking, great turnover, somewhere else I could sell it. But I look over to the right side of the screen, and Great Value is one of the people selling it. They know, because I'm obviously drop shipping, just like you guys are going to be drop shipping. I didn't buy this product from them. So 1, it looks fake. And 2, even though we know it's real, they never gave us authorization to sell it. And no manufacturer that creates their own item wants competition selling against their own item, especially somebody selling it cheaper. It doesn't look legit, it doesn't sound legit, and you will get your ass submitted through a claim through Amazon, and you will get a mark against you. Clear on that? Awesome. Awesome. Okay, the very next one moving forward. This one kind of speaks for itself, right? Product authenticity, customer complaints. So when something's not authentic, which will only be selling real stuff coming from legit stores, and moving forward, this will never have this issue to worry about. If something's fake though, and a customer receives it, you guys are absolutely going to get hit with a fake customer complaint. And that's why some sites it's really risky sending some things because, well, they're not 100% guaranteed. And that we don't want to go through because it's not worth gambling in our account. The next one coming down is a product conditioning customer complaint. Two ways that this can go. And I'm going to run by you guys a scenario that I love to tell everybody about because it sucks. It's got some humor in it. But the very first way, if you guys are selling something new, it obviously cannot show up used or look damaged because now it's not new. That's going to go against its condition. They're going to submit it. Amazon's going to put the pending thing against your account. Again, professionalism, make sure you guys are showing up good and needs to look professional. The only other time I've seen a conditioned customer complaint, I had somebody sign up for me for mentorship for the 5K thing that I run, for the one-on-one thing. Little did I know that he had already got suspended before we started. How he got suspended. He found Make America Great Again hats. Great lucrative product. There's a niche for it. Certain people like them, and then a lot of other people hate them. Big reason why I wouldn't have sold the product. One, it's got a slogan on it that very questionable whether you're going to get in trouble on it. The person that he bought it from, by the time all these orders had been delivered, he had already sold like 50 of them at like a $17 profit each within his first week. Made a buku amount of money just starting off. Person that he bought them from didn't like them. Every hat that was delivered was cut in half. Every single one of them. And you best bet that if they're already a Trump supporter and it's a Make America Great Again hat and they got an item that they paid for and the hat's cut in half, probably not going to be happy about it. Every single one of them reported to the store and he lost all of his money. Stick to the sites we tell you guys tomorrow when we go over distributions. It's very, very critical you guys go through good sources. And if things are questionable like that, I strongly encourage you not to list them. Everybody cool on that? Awesome, guys. Now, product safety customer complaints. This goes one of two ways. Now, you're going to have some piece of shit sellers, buyers, whatever you want to call them out there. 99% of the time, whoever you're buying from doesn't want to have to ship a replacement. So if we're going good through good distributions, if something's like glass or a breakable, they're going to pack it really well because they don't want to have to send a second one because now they have to eat the money too. Now, if you're going through things where you guys got to make a judgment call and you guys want to go through a different distribution center that we teach you not to go through, you guys roll the dice. There's a chance that they don't pack it well, or, you know, stuff happens no matter what. The only time I've ever seen one of these pop up, someone had broken glass in a box and a lady actually cut herself. Not great. Again, we go through good places. We're not going to run into it. They're going to pack their stuff, make it look secure. Again, good distributions, good places that you buy stuff from. If you bought glass or any kind of glass item from somewhere, you would hope that it'd be packed correctly. That's everybody. So we go through a credible source. We don't run into that problem. Solid. All right. Now, listing policy violations. This one also goes one of two ways. A listing policy violation. Amazon will either send you an email and let you know that a manufacturer, again, we'll come back to great value. I have this bottle listed. I've been selling it for like a month. Amazon will send me an email. They'll say, hey, great value purified drinking water is going to be listing their products. I need you to remove the listing within 24 hours. They're obviously not approved to sell that item and they don't want the competition against them. So you have 24 hours to remove it. Either that or Amazon will send you an email and they'll let you know that they removed it for you. If you do not remove it, you guys, within that 24 hours, they're going to add a mark to your guys' account. Everybody clear on that?
Can you hear me?
Mike's booty.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. That might happen a few more times. Son, he didn't sleep the best last night, and I'm hoping not to have a repeat tonight. So, what did I miss?
We are in the middle of account health, moving down to restricted product policy violations. So guys, dabbling back into where we were for listing policy violations. Look, when we teach you to mine tomorrow and we find great value, right, on page 3, it's got its own ASIN, its own SKU, its own barcode. That's awesome. They told you to get off this listing. Now, if you find the same product on page 60 and it's got a different barcode, different SKU, different ASIN, it's the same product. Just because it was listed by somebody else doesn't mean go list the product again. You've already been warned once to get off the product. It doesn't mean to jump on a different one with the same item. Clear on that? Because that one I can't stress enough. And sometimes the tendency is to do it, especially if the profit margin's there. A lot of people do it. It's not worth risking your account. Betty, only got a couple thumbs up on that. Please, everybody clarify on that. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, all right, so I want to close the rest of product policy compliance out. Customer product reviews policy violations. So how this would work. We're not manufacturers. We play a distributor. So we don't make the product. So if a product review is submitted, and I see the smile on Tommy's face because I already know he's thinking of a certain situation that probably has to do with the color of the t-shirt.
Probably.
We have seen everything front to back, guys. If you sell a blue shirt and it comes out and someone argues with you that the shirt's black, look, you don't make the shirt. It's sold as a navy blue shirt. It looks blue to me. It looks black to them. That review does not go against you. Now, if a product is delivered and it's damaged and something's torn or something's stained on it because the way that it got wet or whatever it has to do, the problems with the product has solely to do with how you shipped it, how you took care of it, or how it got to them. Yes, this plays a part in condition. But if they leave the review and your store name is tied to it because of this, the mark will go against you. If it's just something with the product, has nothing to do with you. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Awesome. I love hearing that.
So, guys, one thing I want to touch upon, I don't know, I'm assuming he already hit on negative feedbacks, claims, and shit like that. So, I want to say,
I've been taking advantage of the seriousness with us not being able to have to go back and forth.
That's refreshing.
So I hit customer service performance, product policy compliance. We're fully through it. We're on a shipping performance. But if you want to go over a couple things, just kind of throw in some nuggets.
Well, I'm not sure exactly what you already said, so I don't want to repeat myself too much. But I will say this, as far as the metrics, again, we cannot stress this enough, how important this is. When I first got started selling on Amazon, there's, even if you click on view details on these things, there's other ones. There's like beta, customer service, dissatisfaction, return dissatisfaction, just little stuff. And they're not really on this main page because they don't really play a huge role like they were, supposed to. But when I first started selling on Amazon in 2014, I mean, all this stuff that you see under product policy compliance wasn't even there. A lot
That's
of
what I told you. That's always like 3 of them when I started.
Yeah, it was just like maybe 4, whatever, something like that. Order defect rate was always there, but it's amazing. Like Amazon, literally, that product placement, product policy compliance. God, my words are tongue tied. it's amazing how much they've added, and I want to say this, that they've added that much to make it. Yes, they made it tougher, but Amazon, look at it like this, guys. It's like a cat and mouse game. Okay. So while you always see these things, I mean, I remember back in, God, it was like 2015, maybe 16. They added the return dissatisfaction, like under beta, customer service dissatisfaction, beta. Now, what they meant was on these is, if you do a customer service through an email and someone's like, how satisfied were you with today's customer service? Yes or no? They say no, that would go against you, which was stupid, because maybe they just didn't get their answered the right way. Or maybe you were out of stock and they didn't like that, so they're saying no. Same thing with the return dissatisfaction. when that first came out, my thought process and a few other people's was like, somebody's returning an item. Of course, they're not satisfied.
Right.
So why are you gonna ask me, or why are you gonna ask the customer after they opened up a return and this and that? Now, when these things came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, this is the end of drop shipping. Amazon is done." Look, and again, I say that to say this: no matter what Amazon has thrown at us, like at least for me, since I've been doing it for 5 years, it's always a workaround. Again, do not let none of this discourage you. Do not try to have 100% successful. Oh my God, I got one negative feedback. I quit. people like will have like 20 feedbacks and get one negative feedback and they think it's the freaking end of the world. The goal here, you're gonna get bad feedback because you are gonna get a lot of people who aren't going to be happy with your service. A lot of people leave negative feedback. Instead of contacting you, half of the time you'll get negative feedback on something that if they just responded to you and messaged you, it would be an easy fix.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So again, take a lot of this stuff very serious, but don't take it to the heart as far as the claims and the chargebacks. And guys, all you got to do is keep these percentages low, is sell more shit. And the best advice is sell a lot of items to break even. Maybe not a lot, but maybe a couple times a week. Try to sell 10, 20, 30 items to break even. Don't try to make too much of a profit. But here's the thing, if you sell a lot of items to at least break even, what that's going to do is it's going to raise your percentage on your how many items you sold. So when you do start getting some dings that hit your account, that it's not going to hurt you as bad. Do you guys understand that? Give me a hell
Right.
yeah if you understand that. Oh wait, you guys can't. A thumbs up. I'll take a thumbs up.
I like
Oh,
the
okay.
Stone
Well,
Cold.
okay. Well, hell yeah, that works.
Not gonna lie.
Huh?
I'll take the Stone Cold reference though. I was super.
Damn
Hey,
freaking.
and guys too. Again, that whole playing chess, 2 to 3 moves ahead. That's another Tommy move thrown out there. Like I'm glad he threw that out there. We haven't made our way to that, but yes, leveraging that, being able to do that, another great way. And even going the extra mile, the extra step, making those phone calls, we avoid a lot of these situations anyway. So your dissatisfaction rate, yeah, they might just be dissatisfied with the product, but if they see that message pop up after you got off the phone with them and they took care of everything, and it's going to solely reflect back on you, it's not going to be 100%. Now they're dissatisfied.
Correct.
They know that you took care of it in a professional manner, so they're not going to come after you. So again, just taking those extra couple steps could carry your store monumentally. It'll help a lot.
So yeah, sorry if I'm jumping too much ahead. Like I said, I missed some stuff. My son woke up and then he just randomly must have not finished his bottle and I got some on my shirt. So if you're wondering why I came back with a different shirt, well that would explain it. I got some baby formula on my shirt. So but anyways, yeah, daddy, it's hard to be a parent sometimes, especially when it's just one person doing it. So anyways, guys, I'm not sure where he left off, and since he's still sharing his screen, I'll let him keep taking charge. What?
So our last part of account health that we're going to move into, guys, is all on the right side of the screen. And this one's very easy to go through as well. It's all shipping performance. So your shipping performance is broke down into 3 things. You've got your late shipment rate, which we will go over with you. And when we start listing products, we're going to show you guys how to list out. It's almost like a producing time. Like you guys get a set window to be able to provide a tracking number for the customer. And we usually list this out at 4 days for you guys to start off. Gives you a little bit of a window. I highly recommend when something's bought from you though, you guys buy it the same day. Buy it the same day, give you guys a window. You would rather what's the stigma? What's that called? Where you set out but you over deliver?
Under promise, over deliver.
Exactly. And you would much rather do that 9 times out of 10 because again, if someone's expecting something and it's not supposed to show up for 5 days, but it shows up early, you get positive review. So it's a plus to stay on top of your shit. But again, on a side note, this is just to cover your ass. If anything happens, something gets redirected, or someone runs out of stock and you need to find another place to find it, this will give you the window to be able to do so.
All right. What if you want me to answer that, or you got it?
You can if you want.
That's so
I mean,
refreshing.
if you want to throw a quick crack at it, to be honest, Chris, with what we go over tomorrow, your suppliers shouldn't be canceling you on the third day. That should never happen. And it depends on who you're going through, but we'll cover that with you tomorrow in the first place. Now, did Walmart give you a reason on why it was canceled? Yeah, I'm very surprised. We don't typically run into that issue with them. They tell you why?
Here's what could happen. Sometimes when you're buying from suppliers, they're using their own manufacturer. Okay. So what happens is they have to catch up on all their orders. So they have to catch up on all their orders. By the time they get to your order, then it will go out of stock, or it went on back order, or something will happen. If you didn't already cover the stuff on the feedbacks and stuff, again, we're probably gonna cover some of this tomorrow. And again, it's just because I'm just jumping back in, really, and I've missed pretty much the beginning of what he was talking about. But and again, not to confuse you guys, but there's different scripts that you can use. You could say your stuff is lost in the mail. Again, write your own script, whatever. You could say it's lost in the mail. You could say, hey, item got damaged. It was the last one getting loaded onto the truck, at the warehouse, and it got damaged. It was out of our control. The worst thing you want to really do is tell a customer the item is out of stock. You want to get them to cancel it. We have scripts still in my Facebook group. I believe that we're going to add all you guys to, if you're not a part of it. I believe that we tell people that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just make it sure. I'm pretty certain. Yeah, we talked about that. And I have files and scripts in there that have still worked from the last 4 or 5 years. Now it's not going to work on every customer. Keep that in mind. And you might get most customers that understand it, while some customers, like I've seen customers throughout the years, man, they flip out, they lose their stuff, just simply because they're like, oh my god, I really needed this, TV, or this remote control, or this, and they act like it's the end of the world, and they're mad at you. They're going to leave you sometimes potentially negative feedback. These are the results, because sometimes, obviously, when you're drop shipping, you can't control if the item's in stock or not. The only thing you could do is control it, how to handle it with the customer. Most of the times, if you really have a customer that's really just going to hurt your reputation, you could offer some type of gift card, or like what I used to do, especially a lot in the beginnings, if stuff like that happened, is I would offer them like a 25% coupon when it came back in stock. I said, hey, it might be 2 to 4 weeks, 5 weeks, whatever, for it to come back in stock, and offer a 25% coupon or some type of deal. And whether it came back in stock or not, but half the time those customers just went away. They didn't actually hit me back up. And very few times they would hit me back up. And if it did come back in stock, I probably would honor that, but I would tell them, you have to leave me a 5-star feedback, because getting feedback on Amazon is really hard. Yeah, it's like you got a person that if something doesn't go right, they have no problem telling you that it didn't go right. Negative feedbacks, open claims, blah blah blah. All the people that freaking love their products, they don't take the extra minute, they forget, and they just don't leave you positive feedback. So you got to look at it. You're looking at maybe 1 out of 30 orders, and again, I'm jumping ahead probably, but 1 out of 30 orders is probably going to be able to leave you positive feedback, maybe more. So don't expect your feedback to be crazy high right out of the gate.
Right. And Chris, yes, I have. But again, opting back into that phone call, what Tommy just said, even when it comes to having to actually cancel items themselves, as a seller, this pre-fulfillment cancel rate, the second metric, you being a seller and optimizing your customer service is you not having to cancel items on your customers. Again, it's as simple as picking up the phone, letting them know. Again, it's Ron with Wholesale Hitters. I'm calling to reach Brenda about your great value purified drinking water that you had ordered with us on Amazon. I just want to call you out of courtesy to let you guys know, our freight was delivered upon our Amazon delivery this morning. We had to submit a ticket to Amazon. Typically takes 3 to 5 days for them to process it. They're going to let you guys know when they're going to refund your account. We're calling as courtesy because if you cancel the item, it'll be an automatic refund. You won't have to wait for your money. It seems like you're doing them a favor, and now you're turning a negative situation, and you're probably going to get a positive feedback out of it because you took the time to do them a favor, even though that's not 100% the case. It will work for you because you're doing something for them. You appeal negative feedback. You can appeal negative feedback. There are metrics, guidelines for that in Amazon itself. So if it has nothing to do or it's directly affected actually and it seems like a harassment towards your store, they're going to remove it. Your valid tracking rate is huge one too, guys, and they've gotten stigma on this one as well. You used to be able to throw tracking numbers in there, go back and change them if shit happened. This, that, the other. 9 times out of 10 with late shipment rate and valid tracking rate, you don't want to take the hit on both metrics. If you know that the tracking number is coming, I'll still confirm it without a tracking number. At least it'll be shipped on time, but my valid tracking rate is going to go down. Even if you go and you copy and paste it and put it in there later, it's better for the buyer because now you don't get in trouble for any messages sent to you or people worrying where it is because they didn't get a tracking number, because nowadays everybody gets a tracking number for everything. It's just how it goes. So the sooner you get it, the better. But within this 4 days, you guys should have no problem receiving one, copying and pasting it the way that we teach you, which keeps this metric in perfect order. Everybody clear on that? Been a little while since we got a thumbs up.
It still baffles me on how many people have a problem getting on here. I'm over here looking at, like, not gonna lie, first webinar we did in September, I mean, guys, we had like 100 people. Nobody had a problem getting on, and I'm not bringing that up for any specific reason. I'm just, we had many thumbs up.
I touched base with everybody on it. Like, okay, so we had some audio issues, and we had to relog in and out, but we went off of a free webinar platform. That free one opted in and operated better than this paid one that we're paying for you guys to have a better service. These little technical words we use.
Isn't that's how it goes though sometimes, ladies and gentlemen. Things doesn't always go as planned in business. This is an example. I know this might sound minor to you guys, but it just proves, like, even this business, guys, not for nothing. If you've been watching me on my Instagram or Ron, things aren't always going to be perfect in the business world. So don't expect it to be perfect. Whatever BS that you go through in this business, I can promise you right now, it's worth it. It's worth it. Absolutely. Just keep pushing forward, because whatever you're going through and you think it's bad, somebody else already went through whatever you're going through and they came out on top. So you're not the only person that's going through that shit.
Johnny, I don't anymore. There's too many stipulations, and Amazon's tracking too much based off IPs, how things are sent. There's so many different old methods out there. The best way to do it is to create your own accounts from different locations, throw in a hotspot, whatever it is, so they can't track it to your IP, and see if you can't ship shit out yourself to either a family member or either opt into giving them the money to be able to order an item from you, leave you a star feedback. Obviously, the money's coming back into your account anyway. The only thing you would have to do is pay for the fee. But these services and what they're doing, their old methods is the sending out the envelopes or whatever. They're tracked across the street or whatever, and you have to provide the tracking numbers. The shit does not work anymore. It will find out that it came from you.
Be careful doing that.
Yeah, be very careful. The VPN thing too is like, it's finicky now, and I'm pushing hotspots, like huge, cell towers. They rotate IPs. They're on and off, and that's the beauty about a hotspot. Now, VPNs, there's been a number of times I've had people log into VPNs, and VPNs have been used. They immediately got suspended off of a VPN that was generated, that somebody else was generated. Yeah, Chris, like I just said, hotspot's the key. Hotspot's a big, big key. I will go off a hotspot anytime, anywhere. Everybody catch that? Anybody else have any questions on VPNs, how that would work? I suggest against them now, moving forward. I'm not saying they don't work. They work. What I'm saying is you don't know where you're getting redirected to when you launch one. So there's a chance that you guys can get flagged on one that's already been used and suspended. I've seen it happen.
Amazon also knows the average ratio of how much you get for feedback.
Right.
So if you like think that you're just gonna buy 10 items and all those 10 items are gonna leave you a positive review, or feedback, should we say, it's not gonna work out in your favor. You might get away with it, maybe 10. But honestly, I wouldn't risk it because I've seen people get 5, 10, 15 feedbacks and they've done it on their own or this and that. And they see, okay, you got 15 orders, 15 positive feedbacks. It's they know what you're doing. They know you're BSing them
Yeah.
because on average, they know what the average feedback is. And out of 15 sales, you might get one. So if
It's
you
yeah.
get 15 out of 15, that's ridiculous.
Your ratio is like 8 to 10%. So for you to get 8 to 10 feedbacks out of 100 orders is like that's just where it's at. Absolutely not. You don't want to launch off of anybody at all that's a commercial location IP because people have access to that. They can get into your account. And not only that, you don't know if anybody else has launched there. So again, generating off of a hotspot itself, if you're generating your own IP, it's always the best bet. And I know I've said that like 4 or 5 times now, but I'm telling you now, not even Starbucks, generate off your hotspot.
In reality, I just wouldn't fucking do it. Excuse the language. I mean, you know what? Don't excuse my language. If you've been following me on social media, you know that's how I am. Like I said, help you make money here, but just don't do feedback. Period. I know it sucks, and if you want to do like maybe a couple a week, like you might be safe, but because if you have a bunch of other sales rolling in with it, that might work. Okay, but I would be super careful. Just 1 or 2 a week. If you do, call it a day because you really don't want to be having a store that's bumping like crazy and making you all these sales and get shut down just simply due to the fact that you're buying feedbacks for your store to try to increase visibility and dominate buy box and stuff like that. So yeah.
Right.
Right.
All right, I wanna lock into one more thing before we go through the rest of.
Correct, Chris.
Yeah, for like the 10th time, guys, please don't buy a feedback service unless you want your account to get closed down.
Yeah.
Don't.
Just don't do it.
All right, guys, we're gonna move into payment summary real quick, and then we'll opt into the rest of the questions. Again, we want to do overview for whatever the next session is going to be. Obviously, close out with a Q&A too. But I want to cover this last part because this is a big part. Obviously, everybody wants to get paid. You want to know how your money works. Now, Amazon's on a bi-weekly payout system. Now, with this, it gives you a payout date. So like May 8th. Now, with this, we had talked and dabbled into a little bit of what's going on with these Chinese workshops and sending items, them getting stricter, implementing things that are gated categories, making sure you're legit. Now, how this would work is in your beginning balances, it's going to tell you exactly what was either paid out to Amazon, what stayed there for what's paid out to your account. And it's going to give you a complete breakdown based off what your orders are, what your Amazon fees are for the 15%, what the refunds were that are taken back out, and then what your closing balance is. Now, here's the key part that I want to explain with you guys. Yes, it's a very detailed breakdown, but some of you guys might understand how this actually works. The closing balance, the total balance, might not be what's reflected in what's the bottom, your transfer balance. Yes, it is in your Amazon bank account, but the reason why it has not been moved over. Ever since this has been implemented, Amazon's taken an extra security precaution. What that security precaution is 7 days from the delivery date, the buyer has an opportunity to be able to review whether the product's real, fake, damaged, contact the buyer, see what the issue is, take care of the issue. If everything's fine, you guys have nothing to worry about, no big deal. But it's been there for 7 days. It'll now be moved from your total balance to your transfer balance. So how that 7 days would work. The transfer balance reflected on the screen right now is May 8th. If the bulk of my orders were delivered May 1st, all that money would be deposited into my account on May 8th. If it was delivered, the bulk of the orders on May 2nd, that obviously does not hit the 7-day window, right? They give us one leveraging point that I absolutely use. if you guys want to wait till the next day, the transfer is still going to go through on May 8th. On May 9th, I can now click this gold request transfer button. This will not become readily active for you guys until you guys have 60 days of positive selling, which is not hard to accumulate, but you guys will have it available. So now if you guys missed the window for being able to do it, you got to wait a day or two, you need to get the bulk of your money deposited to your account. You can now hit this button. And when you have mass accounts, big accounts out like me and Tommy, I don't like anybody else holding on to a bunch of my money. So instead of only getting paid out bi-weekly through Amazon twice a month, I hit this button once every 10 days. So now I'm paid 3 times a month because I get more money deposited back into my account. If you need it, use it. But I highly suggest if you're going to pay out somebody and give them 2% of your overall sales, it's not 2% of your guys' commission and what you guys are profiting. 2% of sales on top of Amazon's 15%, 17% is going away. I don't like payability. I would much rather you guys either pay a company to fix your credit or opt into getting credit cards and leveraging the bank's money, because now you guys are accumulating flyer miles, cashback points, and you're making money by doing business rather than liquidating your own cash. Does that make sense? Without a doubt, yes, yes. Credit's huge. And this will skyrocket you guys' credit too. You guys are getting paid, right? You're swiping your credit card. It shows credit card usage. You open up multiple credit cards. There's validation. They're constantly being paid off. It will skyrocket your guys' credit in like 2 to 3 months. I do mean like quick. I only got like 2 yeses. Does that make sense to everybody else? Bet. Awesome, guys. Awesome. So just before we move off this page, does anybody have any questions as far as the payment summary, this payment overview, this page itself? I know it's important to know how your money is managed. So if you have questions, shoot them out, and then we'll move on to the other Q&A before we do the overview for our next session going through. All right, looks like we're all good. So payment summary, I'm just gonna head back out to this home screen, again, hit this home button. And if anybody has anything that they want to throw out to me and Tommy before we go over what we're going to cover tomorrow, shoot us some questions. That way we'll be able to answer moving forward. And again, we'll go over the overview, close out for the night. If you guys have any questions, again, over any of the summary that we went over with how this page is actually directed, the main key points, shoot them our way that we can answer to you guys now rather than having to go back and watch the playback.
Can you guys hear me?
Your volume's low again. So your unavailable balance is that 7 days, Chris. That's what we were talking about. Once that 7 days clears, it'll be moved.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, guys. My laptop gave me a warning like 3 minutes ago, and it was at 78%. And I think this webinar killed it as far as the battery percentage. So here we are.
Anybody else? Anybody else got any questions other than the payout balance?
We didn't cover suppliers or nothing today, did we?
No, we'll go over distribution suppliers when we go over sales tomorrow.
Guys, tomorrow is probably going to be a much longer session.
Yeah.
So we got a whole lot more to cover: suppliers, cashback, and then find and listing these products. So I'm going to speak on, last time we did these webinars, we did like 3, and they were like 3 hours each. Now, these are relatively a little shorter because I think last time we probably out of 3 hours, we spoke and joked around for probably about an hour and a half. Now, people enjoyed it. People got still a lot of value and had fun. But I think this time we wanted to kind of just jump right to what we needed to jump to.
Right.
And we didn't want to drag this out for 3 hours every day. We know a lot of people don't have time to watch 3 hours of just us talking about, that Tommy's more swole than Bronny. We don't have time for all that.
Right, because that would be a total lie. But on the positive positive reflection, no, he's right. And we take, as an entrepreneur, businessman, whatever, we take critical feedback. And there were a couple people that had mentioned that that was, you know, a part of an issue, whatever. A lot of people enjoyed it. A lot of people had a lot of fun with it, like you said, but that might not have been everybody's accreditation. So making sure that we hit the key points, fill in a couple jokes here and there and getting straight to the point, we feel like maybe optimize your guys' learning experience than running it all out. And that's a big thing with pressing and spreading this out. We move from section to section, and why I want to wait to go over distributions and stuff with you tomorrow. I think that putting selling all together and then your profiles something completely separate. I think even getting off this, if you guys have time tomorrow, it being Sunday, hopefully a lot of you don't have to work. Even if you have like 5-10 minutes to go over your notes and scale through your page, trying to credit your mind with it, because it's different information everywhere. You guys are learning an entire business in 3 days.
Pretty much. Also, I want to ask everyone by a show of hands or thumbs, if me and Ronnie ever did a in-person event, how many of you guys would want to come meet us, hang out for 2-3 days, to like be here with us? This was one of the things we thought about like 4 to 6 months ago, but but we have a lot going on. Like I have a lot going on. Some of you may not know in my personal life, but had a lot going on, so I really couldn't really swing that right now as far as time wise. But what I think would be very crucial for you guys, like I said, obviously if we do an in-person event, maybe in Miami, maybe we come to you, we get a huge hotel and we rent it all out. We figure it out. Okay, this has been something that we've thought about as well. And you guys, of course, would get a discount seeing that you've already paid for this workshop. But you guys would get to pick our brain, talk, mastermind. You know, Ronnie again. Ronnie, Ronnie. I'm so used to calling him Ron. Ron. I've known him now, like I said, a year and a half. God, time has just flown by so quick. And like I said, I remember when he met me at the gym. Just a little story, real quick, for those who haven't heard it. But you know, he met me in the gym, and he's like, "Oh, I heard you're this successful guy." What? He didn't say anything crazy. Just like, I just want a piece of advice from you. And I gave him some advice about, I think I was like, just got to be consistent or find a mentor or something, somewhere around those lines. Okay. Most people who approach me in public, they're like, hey, I mean, not everybody, but some people, hey, how do you make all this money? Blah, blah, blah. And their focus is wrong. That focus, how do you make this money and this and that? Like,
Frozen, Sonny.
He followed me on Instagram. What?
Frozen, Sonny. Can you guys still hear me?
I can.
You're like breaking up. You ended on about Ron being good looking in the gym, and then we lost you after that.
Can you hear me now? What the fuck? All right, so everyone saying they can hear me. It's just you, Ronnie.
You froze. Now we can hear you.
No, I didn't freeze. You froze, sir.
Oh.
Anyway, so real quick, let me wrap this up. So he approached me in a very respectable way, so I still gave him my time, you know, and this and that. And not for nothing, Ronnie, you know, was doing his thing, you know, trying to find other ways to make money. We connected, we stayed in touch, and you know, not for nothing, guys. Like I gotta say, like I'm truly proud of him for where he's come. Yeah, like this guy literally mentored a lot of people once he really started crushing it with Amazon after a while, and he's been slaying it. So all I gotta say is again, and I've said it yesterday, your direction, you cannot change your life overnight, but you can change the direction of where you're going overnight.
Yeah.
This Amazon business will change the direction, but it's not gonna happen overnight. Stay on the path, stay focused, and you know, to be able to again, I'm not being cocky when I say you're meeting Ronnie, who's doing now very high 6 figures in profit, you know, per year. Me, multiple 7 figures currently in my business, and to be able to link up with us. And I'm not saying like, hey, if you're doing less than us or you know whatever the case is, but to be able to network with us, I feel like there's so much value within itself. You know, because if I got to link up with somebody else that was making 10, 20, 30,000 mil a year or whatever a month, you damn right I would want to do it. So that's why I wanted to ask you that question. because everything's all about networking. The people you meet at any given time, Ron's an example, life changes just like that. You know what I mean? So that is just I wanted to throw out there to see if you guys in the future, could be a couple months, it could be 3 months, 6 months. I said I have a lot still going on, but things are starting to die down a little bit. When it does, that might be something that we might talk to you guys, and you guys might hear about. So I don't know if Ronnie has anything he wants to wrap it up. I just wanted to just kind of see how many of you guys would be, interested because like, again, every day people want to pick my brain. Every day people want to meet up with me. And I think that this could be a cool way in the future to be able to do it for you guys. Just saying.
The Facebook group, Chris, you guys are all going to be put into that Facebook group. So it's an inner circle, more or less. Tommy obviously started this a while ago. We've got multiple, six-figure earners in there, some seven-figure earners in there, a lot of high five-figure earners in there. Everybody doing the same thing that we're going to be teaching you to do in this webinar. So you guys aren't left alone. You guys will be put into this community. You got questions, you be able to throw them up in obviously Tommy's Facebook group, and it'll carry weight. It'll carry weight. There'll be some templates that are posted in there too, and it should help you guys along the way. The only thing that I really want to throw into the end of this is just coming into tomorrow. Guys, again, please bring the pen and bring the notebook. We're going to be covering over distributions, sales, covering plugins, how we're going to operate those plugins, how we mine, how we list products. It's all crucial key steps. We move step to step to step. So we're moving off the profile, moving on to how we're going to sell, how we're going to list items. That's a big one. And we're also going to cover what's called cash back sites. And this is just free money. And we want you guys to look at it as a bonus. Try not to look at it as profitability. I don't want you guys to throw this into addition, but almost like a bonus check. And how these cashback sites work is literally as simple as what we teach you to go buy cheaper somewhere else. It's the click of a button. It'll keep you a certain percentage off of where you're ordering. And it's just going to accumulate a balance in a separate third-party company, like either eBay, CashWatch. There's a ton of different ones we're going to list for you tomorrow. They'll submit you out a check, and they'll mail it to you within 60 to 90 days whenever your window's up for you guys to actually do it. So you're accumulating free money by doing this, and we're going to show you guys how to utilize that as well. So if any of you guys have any questions before we actually veer off for the rest of the night, go ahead and throw them out there that we can attend to them. Absolutely.
10 out of this. Let me read that. Should I open up a business bank account and credit? 100%. Yes. Will there be a review on dealing with account suspension? We have scripts in the group, and Emiliano, I know you're part of my Amazon automation. So obviously that wouldn't necessarily apply to you, but if you're running your own account, and in what aspect would you want to know how to appeal, how to go about it? Because when Amazon does suspend you, let's just say for any reason, they ask you 3 different topics. What's the risk? How are you going to fix this? They ask you so many different things, and basically you just have to have a guideline. I do have great scripts that I use for some of my Amazon automation clients that I personally wrote myself, that in case something were to happen, and luckily I haven't had to use these scripts too many times. None of them really being for account health, excuse me. None of them for being for account health, but dang. Sorry, it's my guy that's making a website. So, but the scripts do work amazing. So we will cover, we covered how to avoid getting suspended with the performance.
Right.
So if you want to elaborate, should I say, what do you mean on dealing with account suspension and what you have to do? I mean, you just really have to answer their questions more or less and break down kind of what they want to hear.
Yeah.
But just let me know exactly where you're going with that. And it's like, we can't really give an example on an account that's not suspended. We could show you probably if we found an account that what it looks like and what you have to say. But
right. I mean, you're it's just because it's a broad question. There's just so many different things that could accredit to doing that we can't give you one right answer. There's not.
So,
it depends on what the nature of the reason is.
Yeah, I guess we worded it better than I am. When automation goes up, are we locked in at the 25? As far as automation, once I do jump up in price, you guys would be locked in. You just would have to show me, keep your receipts for this, because obviously there's a lot of people who paid. So just keep your receipts, especially if you're watching this in the future. And once you show me that you have a receipt for it, I would honor the old price, 100%.
That question is solely for you. That 2 to 3 credit cards on automation stores.
Johnny Canals, you could. I just prefer to have people only use one until you max it out. And the reason is I don't want the team to keep getting confused on which card to use. They could, but I traditionally tell people delete the old card and then we'll just keep re-adding the new one as we need to. So use the one that has the most limit right out of the gate, personally. So I hope you guys, like I said, I hope you guys, like I said, enjoyed. At the end of the day, Ron's busy. He's got 2 kids. I have 2 kids. This was my weekend to be able to spend time with my kids. I didn't really kind of last minute. I didn't really know till this week that I was going to have my kids because I had them last weekend too. But I guess I must have switched with my ex-wife. So I could be technically spending time with my kids right now, or at least my daughter who's still awake. But I'm here trying to do this webinar for you guys. So I really hope you guys definitely appreciate it. Because those who know, I don't really do too much work on the weekends or anything like that. And here trying to give as much value to you guys as possible so that you guys could, as they say, meet us on the beaches of the world, make a lot of money, and, be able to do more fun, epic, cool shit with you and your family.
For sure, guys. Hey, look, a lot of the people that opted into this were personal people. Obviously, you guys know, it's been brought up a bunch of times. Tommy hasn't done one-on-one training. I wanted to open this and extend the opportunity just because the mass amount of people that were trying to come to me, and a lot of you know that I opted out of mentorship at the beginning of this month. And I had a ton of people that were still wanting to learn. So this was my opportunity to give to you guys to be able to learn at a cheap cost, just because, again, it's business, nature, entrepreneurship. We try to create multiple flows of income. I have to take time to step away. I don't want taking that time to step away to take away from you guys. So this was like the opportunity for you guys to get in. Let you boom. You got the chance to be able to get together some credibility before that fourth quarter and we're drawing a bunch of money.
So, yeah. Anyways, like I said, still shoot. Yes, 100%, Ruben. 100%. There's a lot of people, so I'm gonna have my assistants go through that. So, like I said, guys, probably not gonna hog up too much more time. I gotta probably go anyways in a minute. It's almost not ready for bed. Get her down. I definitely hope, like I said, hope you guys got some value. Like I said, this isn't the most exciting stuff. I'll be honest. These first, second sessions, it's never usually exciting. It's usually once you get to.
But it's important. And Tommy froze again. So I want to be able to. It's so important. You guys need to know the ins and outs operating this again, because as soon as a problem arises and you guys don't know how to take care of it, you're not getting paid. We all want to get paid. I don't have to have you guys shoot a thumbs up for that. I know. So again, the notebook, the pen, taking these notes, it's not the funnest thing in the world. He's right, but we're teaching you to run a business. It's not all fun and games.
Correct. Can you guys hear me again? All right, everyone's saying yes. So with that said, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna do this again tomorrow. And like he said, it's the most important part because you need to know all this stuff. So without sounding like a broken record, know the in and outs of this. Make this, $1,297. Turn that shit into $10,000 in 2 to 3 months, man. Work your ass off, work your tail off, put in the freaking work. If this is gonna be a full-time gig, you should be working this 12, 15, 18 hours a day. No lie. If this is an income that you are solely dependent on going full-time and making something out of yourself for entrepreneurship, people don't ask how long should you work. Just do the damn work, okay? A lot of times people ask how long, but let me ask you guys, if there was gold underneath your feet, how long would you dig? Whatever it takes to get that damn gold, right? If you knew damn well that gold was there. That's the same thing with Amazon. This is your gold. Gold is underneath your feet. You better grab that damn shovel. Don't ask the price of the damn shovel. Buy that damn shovel, dig, and get that gold. So let's make it happen. We'll see you tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to probably be the longer session, but yet the most exciting and epic, because after that, you can go on and you can start getting your gold.
Yep. Absolutely. Hey, guys, again, thank you again. I know a lot of you guys thanking us. Thank you again for giving us the opportunity to help take care of you two and help supply you guys with a better future taking forward with it. Solely on you, how you run with it. But we get on to the better stuff tomorrow. I'm so glad you guys popped on again. I'm going to go ahead and obviously opt out. I know you got your family stuff that you got to go take care of, Tommy. I want to get home to mine as well. So if you guys are all wrapped up, we're all good to go. I will see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully everything's good to go. We won't have to take that 5 to 10 minutes again to get rolling. But I think we got one more question. So these items buyers and you're purchasing from Walmart, is there a amount?
I think she's asking like how much you list it for. I mean, you're going to be able to make that up with the plugins and the tools and stuff like that based on
Right.
what you can buy it for. So you'll be able to know once we show you tomorrow about that.
Right. When we go through selling, we'll cover a lot of that. If you want to bring that back up and it's not covered the way that we think that you're approaching it, but we'll absolutely cover it. But again, thank you guys very much. We will see you guys tomorrow, 7 p.m. Eastern. We look forward to going over with you, getting into the fun part of it again, and getting you guys ready. You guys will be ready to start making money.